1. The catnap impulse. Why you can't help but feel sleepy. After lunch, have you ever found yourself fighting to keep your eyes open at 2 p.m.? Despite having gotten a full 8 hours of sleep the night before, or maybe you're wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, your mind racing in a way that makes you feel strangely alive and alert. It's not just you being weird. Believe it or not, this is your ancient brain at work trying to sleep the way humans did for thousands of years. Our ancestors didn't sleep in one long, uninterrupted stretch like we do now. Instead, they followed a pattern of biphasic sleep. They would sleep for a few hours, then wake up in the middle of the night. During this wake period, they would check for predators, perhaps grab a midnight snack, or even do some other human-making activities. Sounds wild, right? But it was essential for survival. The middle-of-the-night wake-ups kept our ancestors alert, giving them a chance to monitor the environment for threats like predators and keep their tribe safe. This broken-up sleep pattern wasn't just a random quirk. It served an important survival function. Think about it, trying to hunt when it's 100 degrees outside would turn you into someone else's lunch. So they took naps during the day, especially in hot weather. This intermittent sleep schedule was hardwired into our brains, making it possible to survive an era filled with saber-toothed tigers and other lurking dangers. But now, fast forward to modern-day life, where we have 9-to-5 jobs, streetlights, and noisy neighbors practicing their drum solos at 2 a.m. That midday slump. Yep, that's your caveman brain kicking in, nudging you to rest in the middle of the day. And when you wake up at 3 a.m. full of energy, your brain is just trying to figure out why you aren't out there checking for wolves. Sounds crazy, but it's really just a throwback to ancient survival instincts. 2. The herd mentality impulse. Why you follow the crowd without thinking. Have you ever walked down the street and noticed a group of people staring at the sky? Without even thinking, you find yourself craning your neck, looking up, joining the crowd in some bizarre collective behavior. You have no idea what everyone's looking at. It could be a bird, a UFO, or absolutely nothing at all, but there you are, part of the herd. This is the power of herd mentality, an impulse rooted deep in your brain. Thousands of years ago, if your entire tribe suddenly started running in one direction, you didn't stop to ask questions. You ran. Because the person who paused to wonder, "What's going on?" got eaten. Our brains are still wired to think that following the group is essential for survival. The pack provides protection, food, and safety from threats, and that's why our brains reward us with a hit of dopamine whenever we conform to social behavior. It's the ancient way of saying, "Good job, don't be the weirdo who gets left behind." But in modern times, that same instinct can lead us to make questionable decisions. Think about the GameStop stock saga, or those hideous shoes everyone's suddenly wearing. We buy things, adopt trends, or even believe fake news just because everyone else is doing it. Our caveman brains are clueless about the difference between following a tribe for survival and blindly following strangers on TikTok. It just knows that conformity equals survival. 3. The reciprocation obligation. Why you feel like you owe someone for small favors. You've probably experienced it. Someone holds the door for you, or a colleague brings you coffee, and suddenly you feel this overwhelming sense of obligation. It's as if you owe them your firstborn child. It's not being dramatic. This is your brain's reciprocation obligation at work. Deep down, you're driven by ancient survival instincts related to tribal reciprocity. In the past, reciprocal actions weren't just polite, they were essential for survival. If you didn't share your resources like food or shelter, you wouldn't survive when the cold or famine came. The fear of being cast out of the group for failing to reciprocate kept the tribe functioning. Your brain evolved to feel uncomfortable when you didn't pay back favors because not doing so could lead to rejection and ultimately death. Fast forward to today, and marketers have figured out how to manipulate this instinct. How many times have you found yourself buying something you didn't need after getting a free sample at the grocery store, or accepting an expensive offer after someone gave you a free cup of coffee? Your ancient brain can't tell the difference between someone sharing food to ensure survival and someone giving you a free keychain at a convention. It just knows that debts must be repaid or you'll be left behind. 4. The fear of the unknown, instinct. Why you avoid new experiences. Have you ever walked into a pitch-black room and felt your heart rate skyrocket, or looked at an unfamiliar food and immediately felt your brain screaming, "Nope"? That's not you being dramatic or scared, it's your brain activating the fear of the unknown. For our ancestors, the unknown was literally a matter of life and death. That rustling in the bushes could be a wild animal, not just the wind. The berry you've never seen before might be a delicious treat or a deadly poison. So, to avoid becoming extinct, our brains evolved to treat anything unknown as a potential threat. This impulse kept humans alive by encouraging caution, but today it can make us avoid trying new things. Whether it's ordering the same dish at a restaurant for years or refusing to use a new app, your ancient brain can't distinguish between a new danger lurking in the dark and a new experience that could benefit you. It just knows that the unknown could be dangerous, so it urges you to stick with what's familiar, even if it's boring or unfulfilling. 5. The need to control drive. Why you hate not being in charge. Have you ever gotten frustrated when someone else is driving and you feel like you need to press the brake pedal? Or maybe you've had a day where everything you planned went off track and you just want to scream in frustration. This overwhelming desire to control everything is a drive that's been ingrained in us for thousands of years. In the past, survival was all about control. Those who managed their resources building strong shelters, planning hunts and storing food were the ones who survived. Those who didn't plan or control their environment faced disaster. Control meant survival. Fast forward to today, and that drive to control is still alive and well. A traffic jam can feel like you're trapped in a life or death situation, and a meeting running late can send your stress levels soaring. Whether it's micromanaging a project or obsessing over trivial details like how the dishes are stacked, your ancient brain can't tell the difference between life or death control and your need to control the narrative at work. It just knows that lack of control meant death, so you stress about the small stuff even when it doesn't matter. 6. The loss aversion bias. Why losing feels worse than winning feels good. Imagine this: you find $100 on the ground and you feel good. But if you lose $100, you can't stop thinking about it. You plot revenge against the universe. It's not just you being dramatic. This is your loss aversion bias at work. An instinct evolved to keep us safe from resource loss. In the past, losing something crucial like food or weapons meant imminent danger. Losing your spear could mean going hungry, and losing your food stash could lead to starvation. This made our ancestors cautious and averse to loss because it could be a matter of survival. Now, in the modern world, that bias often makes us hold on to things we don't need, whether it's a bad investment or a hoard of junk, because the idea of losing something feels so much worse than gaining something. Your brain is still wired to think that loss equals death, even when the stakes are much lower. 7. The preoccupation with status. Drive why you compare yourself to others. Ever feel a wave of insecurity when you see someone with a nicer car than yours? Or scroll through Instagram and wonder why everyone else's life seems so much better than yours? That's your status-obsessed brain doing its thing, making you feel miserable over something that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. In tribal society, status wasn't just about looking cool, it was about survival. High status meant access to food mates and protection from dangers. Low status, on the other hand, meant scraps and the possibility of being ignored or cast out. So it's no wonder that our brains flood us with dopamine when we succeed socially and stress hormones when we fail. But now that primal drive leads us to obsess over things like Instagram followers, promotions, or even what your neighbor has. Your ancient brain can't tell the difference between losing status in the tribe and losing social standing on LinkedIn. It just knows that status equals survival, so you chase after it often at the cost of your peace of mind. 8. The desire for fairness and reacting to injustice. Finally, imagine someone cutting in line or a colleague stealing your idea. You feel an overwhelming urge to react, maybe even to lash out. This isn't you being petty. It's your brain's deep-seated sense of fairness kicking in, rooted in our ancestral need for justice in the tribe. Fairness in tribal societies was a matter of survival. If someone hoarded resources or exploited others, it could lead to the collapse of the entire group. Punishing unfairness kept the tribe united and alive. Today, that instinct still fires up whenever we perceive an injustice, no matter how small. Your brain floods you with rage, making it feel like restoring fairness is a matter of life and death. You can't let go of slights because your brain believes the tribe's survival depends on justice.